town. How often would you guys go to a restaurant to eat versus never?
I never remember going out with my family to a restaurant to eat.
Do you remember when you started to go to restaurants? Would that be maybe when you were in the Army or?
Let's see, yeah, in the Army I went to restaurants, especially when I was in Texas, in Camp Wood, Texas. You could go out to a restaurant in Killeen and for 75 cents get a huge steak,
Sure.
French fries, the whole works for
Gravy.
75 cents. Of course, the pay was $50 a month, so you didn't do that very often.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
but it was good. And then, but as a family, we didn't. I think my mother and father and the rest of the family went out to a restaurant one time in Pittsburgh. It was a result of a wedding or a funeral that we had to attend.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, we never went to a restaurant.
Okay. My mom has a meal that she makes that I'd almost fly to New Hampshire to get. She'll do a roast pork and she does macaroni and cheese and gravy. Was there like a meal that your mom would make that just was a showstopper?
Every Thursday and Sunday, we would have some sort of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Usually on Thursday, we would have rigatoni, which I love. I mean,
Sure.
really love. And then on Sunday,
Little
we
tubes. Rigatoni, little tubes. Is rigatoni the little tube?
no, it's a big tube. It's a bigger tube.
Oh, okay.
Those are ziti that you're talking.
Okay, sure.
That's ziti, which I prefer to rigatoni.
Okay.
Rigatoni were quite big slabs of
Yeah.
dough. And what else? And my mother, you know, she made real tomato sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And she made it with veal ribs.
Okay.
That was the cheapest meat you could buy.
Veal.
Yeah, you could buy veal for around 15 cents a pound.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we'd go to the store and I'd say, I want 25 sorte de coste vitello, which means 25 cents worth of veal ribs.
Uh-huh.
And he'd give me a couple pounds of meat, you know, and which was veal ribs. And my mother would chop them up in small pieces and cook that and make the tomato sauce. It was delicious, delicious.
Now, when she does that, like when you say rib, would you, like almost like what I would know as of like a barbecue rib, that kind, and you would eat?
She would cut them and make them about 3 pieces out of each rib, but leave the meat on it.
Yeah.
And cook that with tomato sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would get pieces of that. Now,
Yeah.
I don't say ribs, maybe 2 or 3 ribs total, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they chopped up the meat and made it look like it was more there.
Sure.
And that was delicious.
That was the one that was like this. Okay.
And of course, my parents, my mother took the turkeys for the first year she was in this country. She cooked turkeys every Thanksgiving and
nice.
Christmas.
Okay.
And she was a very, very good cook, very, very masterful with the kitchen.
With Christmas, do you remember? Did you always have Christmas lights, or how did you decorate?
I still do.
Uh-huh.
I used to put whole cities, you make whole towns underneath the Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
And all the houses and stuff lit up, snow.
Yeah.
And one year I even got a snow machine that blew the snow to the top and it would come down.
Okay.
But it was such a mess.
Yeah.
So we cut that out.
Okay.
But I still, I finally gave away the Christmas tree that we had. I said, I'm just tired. Nobody comes here anymore. Anyway.
Sure.
We're tired of looking at it because we always put up a tree at Thanksgiving time,
Mm-hmm.
and it stays up until New Year's. Well, this last year I spent a whole day putting the damn thing up, and one person saw it. We go to their houses instead of them coming here.
Okay. And so that's a tradition you started as a kid, like you.
We always had a Christmas tree.
Mhm.
Always. Most of the years, a real tree, and then even after we got married, we had a real tree for many years. And then we kept them too long.
Sure.
And I got more aware of the dangers of a live Christmas tree kept in a house
Yeah.
for a period of time. What a real fire hazard it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought a decent, thin a tall Christmas tree that would hold just as many ornaments.
Yeah.
And you could use it year after year, and it was fireproof.
And yeah, absolutely.
Put a Christmas tree with all the electricity that's surrounding a house nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a very dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
It practically explodes after 3 or 4 days in the house.
Yeah. What I understand is that they cut them down in like October.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time you
I
get
used to
them,
live, I went to school in Indiana, Pennsylvania, Munson Forest, which is the largest Christmas tree producer in the United States.
oh, okay.
They start cutting them the 1st of October.
Oh, wow.
And they cut down like 3 million trees a year.
Sure.
And, you know, a tree, once you cut it, and it's, I don't know, really is dead
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of weeks, it's ready to burst out into a total flame instantly.
Mm-hmm. What I did two years ago, up in New Hampshire, there's a little family that has it's small, but they have a little Christmas tree farm.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they'll start growing them, and there are some that are too small, you can't pick those, but when they get to a certain size, you can pick them, cut your own tree
Cut your
down,
own tree down, yeah.
and then you've got this amazing smell in the house of this
Yeah,
fresh
it's
pine
like-
and
We had that back in where I lived in Pennsylvania.
yeah.
And I would get out and cut the tree the same way as you're
Yeah.
talking. And, but right now, first of all, maybe my whole family will come here one time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and they all have their own tree.
Yeah.
And so we put up a very small token tree
Mm-hmm.
to put the gifts on. They all come here on Christmas Eve, collect their loot, and that's it.
That's good. All right, we talked about the military. This is what you and I started to talk about earlier when the cameras weren't on. You said when you were 26, you found yourself in a position where you were starting to get frustrated with what you saw as your opportunities, and someone stepped in. Can you kind of retell that story for us?
Sure. There was a place called a clothing store downtown, which was 2 blocks long. And Davy's clothing store
Mm-hmm.
had a sort of a wall that you could sit on,
Mm-hmm.
and people would gather around that wall at nighttime, men, and shoot the bull. That's all we did, was shoot the bull
Sure.
and complain about the town.
Okay.
And there's plenty to complain about a small town, no opportunities and stuff like that. Well, one of the people that joined that group was our chemistry teacher in high school. He became a regular member of that particular group.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the biggest complainers at one point. No opportunity and stuff like that. And there was no opportunity in that town, nothing at all. And his name was Mr. Titus in school. We called him Mickey, Mickey Titus. Mickey Titus spoke up. He said, "I'm so tired of hearing your shit that's going on every night. You're no opportunity. Anybody that has 48 months of free college available to them and is not taking advantage of it, I have no pity for whatsoever."
Mm-hmm.
You're not. I get tired of hearing you talk about it.
Right.
You bore me. Well, there was a teacher there. Mickey Titus was one of my teachers in school.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another teacher that was current in school that I had not had.
Mhm.
He and I, Calmack, were good friends. He had a car and I didn't, but we got along very well. And I told Mickey, I said, I'm 26 years old. Who in the hell's going to take me into college? Where can I get in? I can't make it. And Calmack speaks up, "I can get you in." I says, "I don't think I'm at my age." He says, "You're smart enough. You'll get in. You'll get in. You'll get in." I said, "Okay." He said, "I'll pick you up tomorrow morning at 5:30. And he drove me 90 miles to Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, he knew his way around that school and got me to speak to the Dean of Education. They gave me a test. 2 weeks later, I was attending college. And I took 2 courses of summer school, first session of summer school.
Mhm.
Lasted 6 weeks. I took college algebra and English literature.
Mm-hmm.
I made 2 A's. And it appeared in the Point Marion News because that college gave out the dean's list every term.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the dean's list and almost a headline in the Point Marion News. suddenly I became a very popular person in Point Marion. This is my God. He's going to school and look what he does. And they were after their children that were going there that weren't making the good grades.
Sure.
I thought in college, usually, how you didn't do anything all day long. You just,
Right.
all I had to do was work a couple problems and spend a couple hours reading literature.
Mhm.
And I enjoyed both of them.
Okay.
And then I found out that college, if you really want to and you utilize the time, it is not hard to finish college in less than 3 years.
I'm sorry. The battery just, I think, died on that one, so I just have to switch this one out. This will take 2 seconds. My big camera, I've got extra batteries for.